So good morning. I wanted to take just a few minutes, since we won't get to have our normal first day of class discussion, to go over the ICR with you and make sure that you are familiar with the really important pieces. I won't read it to you, but I'm going to point out just the highlights. Now, you will find the ICR posted in our Blackboard course. You will also find it posted in WebAdvisor. When you look at your schedule in WebAdvisor, you'll notice that the ACCT 2301 is a hyperlink, and when you click that, you can open it and see the ICR. Most of the time, those ICRs are posted and available since the first day of registration, so you can go ahead and look at that before you even decide to register for a course. But let's go through and look at it. So again, I'm Jaye Simpson. We hopefully met in the first orientation video that you watched. My office is on the Northwest campus in the WTLO building. Now, this fall semester, fall of 2020, we are online only, so I will not be in my office for you to come visit me. But in a normal semester, I would love for you to stop by and visit me in my office. You have my phone number there. That is my office phone number, so of course if you call it this semester, I won't answer. You can leave a voicemail, and I do get my voicemail on my email, but of course then I'm not really able to call you back. So email is the best way to get in touch with me. You have my email address there. You can email me at, and I do check my email all the time, and I will respond. Now, I do want to say that I do try to take some time off on the weekends. Normally, Monday through Friday, I'm on my computer pretty much all day, except that I am old and I go to bed early at night. On the weekends, I do check my email usually at least once a day, but I'm obviously not on my computer all day long. So do give me about 24 hours of minimum response time on the weekends. So you see the last day to drop. You also see my office hours. My office hours, as I explained in the first video, will be held in Microsoft Teams. And in Blackboard, you saw the link to click on to open Teams to meet with me during my office hours. If you are not available during these hours, then shoot me an email, and I am happy to work with you. We can find a time that we can meet on Teams or on Zoom outside of this regularly scheduled time. Also, if you know in advance that, hey, I need to meet with you, like let's say on my lunch break, then shoot me an email and see if you can get on my schedule, because there will be times that you may hop onto Teams and I'm not available, either because I'm already meeting with a student, or because I'm in another meeting, or maybe I've just stepped away from the computer for a second to make a sandwich or refill my coffee cup. But if I know that, hey, at 11:15 Jane is going to hop onto Teams so that I can work on this problem with her, then I'll make sure that I am there and present and won't go make a sandwich. So I'm always available to you. Again, if these office hours don't work, shoot me an email and we can set up something that does. So I'm just going to scroll through here. Oh, let me make I minimized it too much. Goodness gracious, see here, you're getting it on the fly. So the next thing that we see, there's a lot of information here. Again, I won't read it to you, but if you do need accommodations, make sure that you communicated with the SARS office, and then you communicate with me directly. And again, I'll let you read all of that. Now, the textbook. This is what we call a TCC Plus class, or inclusive access, which means that your textbook was included in the price of your tuition. That includes your textbook and the access code for My Accounting Lab. So you don't need to buy either the textbook or the access code. What you will need for this course is you will need a webcam if you do not have one. If you have a laptop, it probably has a webcam. If you have a desktop, it may or may not have a webcam. You'll need to buy one. They're not terribly expensive on Amazon. You don't need a fancy one. Other materials that you will need: a calculator. It does not have to be a fancy calculator. A simple 4-function calculator will work just fine. During a normal semester, I have some that I bring to class that I bought on clearance for 50 cents at Walmart one year. So you can go get a calculator. I suggest a highlighter. That's certainly not mandatory, but sometimes students find a highlighter. And as we talked about in the first video, I have provided those notes for you, and you'll want to print those out. For most of us, want to print those out and fill them in by hand. So either you need access to a printer, or go ahead and download all of the notes. They're all there for the all chapters, and send those to Staples or Office Max or somewhere and have those printed. A lot of students like to punch holes in them, put them in a 3-ring binder, and then they can put their homework in there also. When you do your homework, and we'll talk about this more when we get to the My Accounting Lab video, I do strongly encourage you to work your homework out by hand. So you'll want to have your homework worked out by hand, then you can put all those papers together. Some students like to create little tabs, put little flags in there, and break it out by chapters so they have their notes and their homework and all of that together. Now, the focus, this is everything we're going to learn this semester. Now, I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to just scroll through it, and I'll let you read it later. But I want you to notice it starts pretty far at the top of page 3, and it goes all through page 3 and into page 4 and all the way through page 4. So there's almost 2 pages of stuff that we have to cover. Now, I say this because I do not get to dictate the terms of what we do and do not cover in this class. Those are dictated by the state of Texas and the Higher Education Coordinating Board. There's a lot of stuff in here. And the number one complaint I hear from students is we cover too much information and we go too fast. And to that, I 100% agree. If it were up to me, if I ruled the world, we would cover half of this information in this class, and then we would cover half of it next semester in another class. But it's not up to me. We have to cover all of this information. It's mandated. So we are going to move very, very fast. There is a lot of information. I'm going to try to give you some tips. I've already talked to you about some of those in the first video. In the next video, when I cover my accounting lab, I'm going to talk to you about it some more. Some tips and tricks to try to make your life easier, to make you a more efficient learner. I want you to work smarter, not harder. But the fact remains, we still have a lot of information to cover. And what makes it harder is accounting is not intuitive to us. It's really not intuitive to anyone. So it's not something that some people are just come in knowing how to do. So all that to say, this class requires a lot of your time. It's going to require a lot of your effort. And so while I don't want anyone to drop and I don't want to scare anyone off, I do believe in full disclosure up front. And so if this is the semester that you're working a full-time job and you have overtime and you're taking 18 hours and you have 4 kids that are all doing online learning at home, maybe this isn't the semester you want to take Accounting 2301, because this is a class that really requires a lot of your attention and a lot of your time. These are concepts that are not comfortable to us, that are not familiar to us, and we have to practice them a lot. So that said, let's move on. So you'll notice, and I pointed this out in Blackboard, there is an orientation quiz. You are required to take that. Students who do not complete that by the due date, due date can be dropped from the class. The due date is listed in the schedule of due dates. We will have 4 exams this semester, 4 unit exams this semester. All the exams will be taken in my accounting lab. We will be using Proctorio and a webcam. So you don't need the webcam right now. You won't need it until we get to the exams. The exams are going to, and we'll talk about the exams more as we get closer to it, but the exams are going to have a variety of multiple choice and homework style workout problems. I'm really testing your knowledge. I want to test, can you work the problem? I want to test your understanding. I don't want to test your memorization. So you'll find the tests are not really designed to test your memorization. Each test has one and only one attempt, and you have a 90-minute time limit. At the end of the semester, I do offer what's called an optional comprehensive exam. So if you get to the end of the semester and you've taken all 4 of the unit exams and you are happy with your grade in the course at that time, then you are done. But if you find that you didn't do very well on one of the exams for a variety of reasons, maybe you were sick, maybe you had a sick kid and you hadn't gotten a lot of sleep, you hadn't really been able to work on the homework and get the content down and really get prepared for the exam. Maybe it just took you a while to really get in the groove and figure out a good schedule for yourself, and you just didn't really get some of the content. Whatever the reason was, if you didn't do well on an exam, then you can take the optional comprehensive exam, and that will replace your lowest test grade. If you miss an exam for any reason, I don't give makeups. You'll just take the option, you'll get a 0 for that missed exam, and you'll take the optional comprehensive, and it will replace that missed exam. So scrolling down, you'll see that your exams, your 4 exams together, comprise 75% of your course grade. Your homework is 15%, and the dynamic study modules are 10. And in order to make an A, you need a 90% or above, and so on and so forth. Now, here's the schedule of due dates. I've posted it here in the ICR. You also remember it is posted in Blackboard, and all the due dates are in My Accounting Lab. So they're all in 3 different places. All assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on the date indicated. You'll notice that they're all due on a Monday. This is to give me a chance to respond to you. I didn't want to spend all day Sunday answering student questions. So if you email me over the weekend, I will probably respond to you on Monday morning, and I'll give you till Monday night to return to fix your question and get your assignment submitted. So you notice that most chapters have homework and a DSM. There are a couple of chapters that don't have a DSM, but all chapters have homework, and then we have those exams thrown in. And so getting to the end of the semester, your one non-Monday due date is this December 16th when the optional comprehensive exam is due. That's on a Wednesday. So you'll take your final exam, which is just the Unit 4 exam, on Monday the 14th, or by Monday the 14th. You don't have to take it just on that one day. The exams are open for a whole week, and then you can see your grade. And if you want to try to improve your grade, then by the 16th, you'll need to take that optional comprehensive exam. So again, every chapter has homework and dynamics. Most chapters have dynamic study modules. So let's talk about the homework first. The homework is completed in My Accounting Lab. You have unlimited attempts on every homework assignment. My goal is for you to work this until you get 100 on it. So in the next video, part 3 of the orientation, we're going to walk through My Accounting Lab together. I'm going to show you how to find the homework. I'm going to show you the help features that are built into the homework and all of that stuff. The 2 lowest homework grades are dropped. Anything that's late, it can't be submitted. So at exactly 11:59 p.m., My Accounting Lab cuts off. So you want to make sure that you're not late in submitting that. The dynamic study modules are also in My Accounting Lab. They also have unlimited attempts, and the 2 lowest ones are dropped. I will talk about the dynamic study modules again more in that My Accounting Lab video when we get there. And so the last page, this is just a lot of information. Again, I do expect you to go through and read this. Very important, I do expect you to treat everyone with respect, whether we're having a Teams meeting, whether we are on discussion boards, whether you are just emailing. Be respectful and treat everyone with respect. If you prefer to go by a name other than your legal given name as what is on your roster, then please go to the registrar's office and complete a record maintenance form. That will automatically update my roster, and I want to make sure that I call you by the preferred name. Again, I'm going to let you read the rest of this information. Please don't cheat. You will be reported. I don't want to have to deal with that. We'll talk more about cheating when we get to the test and we talk about proctorio. Now, I do want to point out attendance. We do take attendance in online classes. Per TCC policy, attendance in online classes is based on whether you have completed your assignments by the due date. So the first assignments are due on August 31st. If you've completed those assignments by August 31st, you will be marked present. Otherwise, you will be marked unexcused absence. The only excused absences are for a TCC official school business. Now, once you have missed 15% or more of the course, you can be dropped for non-attendance. So this means if something happens in your life and you're going to be missing some assignments and you're going to be missing several weeks, you need to be in communication with me. Now, chances are if you're missing several weeks of assignments, then you probably are not going to be successful in the course anyway. But you need to be in communication with me. If you just drop off the face of the earth, then I've been asked to withdraw you from the class once you've exceeded that 15%. Since we only have assignments due once a week, we only have attendance taken once a week. So it's really easy to hit that 15% mark in an online class. Also, again, make sure that you have completed the orientation quiz or you will be dropped also. And again, the best way to reach me is through email. I will respond to email. I say within 48 hours, it's usually 24, or if it's during the school day, during the work week, I respond typically within a couple of hours unless you email me at night. But again, I do want to respond to your emails. If for some reason you send me an email and you don't get a response from me, you'll want to send another one or maybe even call me. Occasionally things happen to my email and I don't get them, and I will definitely respond to you. So again, I hope from now you'll go watch the third orientation video about my accounting lab.